Welcome to Botany Barrels, a Petrichor production. Hello. This is Botany Barrels, and I am Nina House. My co-star Gaby Rapp is not here right now because today we're going to be doing a blind taste testing of Charles Shaw White Zinfandel, better known as $2 Chuck from Trader Joe's. Gaby is going to be appalled. I'm super excited. And we're going to give her the wine, see if she likes it or not, get her opinion, and then break it to her that this is $2 Chuck. So here we go. All right, Gaby. I've introduced the wine already. You don't know what
separately
it is, though.
without me.
Without you. This is a.
I came in, the wine glasses are already poured.
Yeah.
Don't even get to see the bottle.
Don't get to see the bottle. Nothing. It's a blind taste test. Are you as good as you claim to be? Bop, 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 bop. All right, let's do it.
This is what this is?
Yeah.
How is that? Okay.
This is a test. Color test first.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, it definitely looks like a rosé. It's very light.
Mm-hmm.
It's pinkish, but it's a pretty dark pink. It's a little more red.
Yeah,
it's red heavy.
It's not like what I would imagine most rosés to be like. A lot of rosés are like a hint of pink.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? And I was struggling to think of it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of like if you took like Hawaiian punch and watered it down a lot.
Oh, I see.
Because it's that red.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's because I've never seen this shade in a rosé before. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. You actually have, because you've had this before a long time ago.
A long time ago? In a wine glass like this, where I actually looked at the color?
I think you did.
Or was I in a dark room?
You might have.
Where I didn't examine the wine.
I don't think we examined it when we had it. Anyway.
Oh, so that's a clue already.
No, but don't think about it too much.
I've already had this before. Interesting.
Give it a sniff, Gaby. A sniff schnuff.
Oh, we're jumping into that. I had a cool thing that I saw. Yeah, because we were talking about on the coloring is that the edges are really white and clear.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
But if you look at it through the light, right at the edge where the white and then it starts turning pink, you get this little, at least I get this little reflection of like rainbow.
Oh, really?
Which makes me think that it has a pretty high alcohol content. Can you see it in yours? Maybe not. Can you see it in... You see it right on the edge?
Well, maybe. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Just right on the edge.
Yeah. I don't know that I've. Well, I'll stop there saying what I wanted to say. Give it a sniff, Gaby.
Okay.
Give it a swirl. Give it a sniff, folks. What do you think?
I can hear you laughing. Just so whisper laughing. What is this?
I don't know.
I didn't know I was going to be put on the stand here. Jeez.
Sorry.
I mean, it kind of burns my nose hairs a touch. But it does have a fruity smell, like strawberries, but it also smells pretty tart.
It does. It smells more tart than I would expect from a rosé.
I mean, most of our rosés have been pretty tart. Rosés are, yeah.
Well, but I guess I think of them as being sweet. So maybe that's just my ignorance.
They're both. They're sweet and tart. They kind of hit a middle ground. But I would say on their, I mean, that's why like it's strawberry, and then I can also smell the tart, like green apple tartness, you know, which is a pretty go-to.
Do you remember the last wine we had on here that was a green apple wine?
Yes. It wasn't a green apple wine. It was wine with apple essence. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it called that? Orchard essence?
Orchard essence. Which, since then, we went back and they didn't kick us out. Even though
we're not that famous.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway. I smell like sweet. I smell tart. I get the nose burning sensation. You can smell the alcohol. Are there legs?
Let's see here.
Oh, there are some.
Oh. No.
Oh. Well, there were for a split second.
It's trying. for a second, but there are, I mean, like you can see it starts to like just all go together down the glass. Mm-hmm. There's not really legs. There's like one. I can see one solid leg. So that says a lot. It's not super, maybe it hasn't been aged, hasn't been fermented or distilled properly, or that many times, rather. Maybe not properly is maybe not the most accurate word.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready to taste it?
Are you?
I'm so ready.
Okay. I don't like how excited you are.
It's going to be tasty. Let's do it.
Okay. Oh my God.
I really don't hate it, which maybe is like gonna make you never want to talk to me again.
Remember what we just had?
That is in a category all its own.
No, they're all wine.
They're all wine. It's like thick and syrupy in my mouth.
Yeah, it's sugar. It's so sweet. It felt like I drank syrup with some alcohol mixed in. It's the artificial strawberry syrup watered down with some alcohol.
You're wrong. That's not what it is. But I see what you're saying.
This is what you gave me. It's just. Are you sure you didn't actually water down Hawaiian punch and mix in some vodka?
I should do that sometime. That would be really funny.
And call it wine. I didn't see this. It might not be wine. Who knows? I didn't see a bottle.
I promise you
There's no cork.
There probably isn't a cork. What do you think?
I don't really like it. I mean, it's just so sweet. This is like a party wine.
It's a party wine.
This is something that, like, if you want to get really drunk and not remember tomorrow and also feel terrible, you drink that and you're not, like, into cocktails or something.
Right.
Because it's something that, like, people in college would get to take to parties when they're trying to think they'd be classy for, like, bringing wine to a party. But it's the cheapest one.
Don't make fun of those people.
No, I did it. Culinary students, people in my school did it all the time because we're broke.
Yeah.
We work in restaurants.
Yeah.
We don't make money. I mean, it's just, that's what it reminds me of. I can literally picture myself at one of our house parties in college.
Yeah, totally.
And
I would have loved this.
And you just have the Franzia on the table and you pour into your cup.
Yeah.
That's what I think of.
I would have slurped this down. I wouldn't have even shared it.
Sure.
I would have been like...
I mean, like, I used to drink Lillet and it's just ice. And that's like a pretty sweet aperitif wine. This is kind of like that. I mean, Lillet's like a little bit, it's mixed in cocktails, but...
I would still probably drink this at a party. Like, at a, like, casual, like, super casual setting. I don't want to, like, bust out a $20 bottle of wine or something.
Yeah, I mean, if you specifically want to have wine, this is a good casual party option.
Yeah.
Or game night, maybe.
Do you have any ideas about what it is?
I have to guess the bottle? Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, you don't normally. You don't have to. You know, how would you? But
I'm gonna assume you got this at Trader Joe's because you got the cheese at Trader Joe's.
Oh, this is my Trader Joe's day. I am the biggest advocate for Trader Joe's.
It's great.
This episode sponsored by.
No, you can't say that.
I can't say that.
But please, Trader Joe's, give us money. No, I mean, I think I saw a post the other day of someone kind of saying, like, I'm going to Trader Joe's for the cheap, shitty wine because I want that.
Do you know what it's called?
Well, I remember we got it once, and then this is maybe the time that you're referring to it.
Yeah, this is it. I think
now that you gave that clue away.
Yeah. That was a big clue.
Why did we do that?
I was staying at Lisa's, my friend Lisa's, watching her dog.
Oh, and we were going to play Horrified.
We
played some games.
And we drank this.
And we wanted wine. And we, I guess, didn't want to spend any money. Which I said this would be good for a game night. And we did do that.
Totally. I think I just was like, I want you guys to try this. And you were horrified.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I wanted something different. And you were like, no. And they had the big signs. $2 Chuck.
$2 Chuck.
Yeah.
It's actually $3 now.
Oh, so they can't say that anymore.
No, it's $3 Chuck.
That's not as catchy.
It went up. All right, we got to go get the bottle. You got to see the bottle. We got to rate the bottle. You ready?
Sure, bring it out.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not even going to ask what you're... No.
I wasn't humming anything. I was just humming.
Just humming.
I can hum All Too Well by Taylor Swift, 10-minute version. Taylor's version.
The whole thing straight?
You would think like a 10-minute version of a song, you're like, what could she possibly sing about for 10 minutes? It's great. It's really good.
Anyways, this bottle. Charles Shaw.
Charles Shaw. What do you think of this?
That's why it's called $2 Chuck.
$2 Chuck.
Because Charles is short for Chuck.
Mm-hmm. Chuck is short for Charles.
The other way around, yeah. It's already making me loopy, this line. Damn it.
What do you think of the bottle? Where would you see this? What kind of event?
I mean, I feel like I already gave some of it. I mean, definitely a college party.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just looks like watered down juice, even in the bottle more so. Yeah, or at like a the like lower tier level food and wine tasting places where they like, yeah, you pay for this and you get unlimited tastings of this wine and some food samples, and then the unlimited wine is this. Because that's what it tastes like. Shots fired. Yeah. Sorry. I've been to one of those in downtown LA, and it was just like, I mean, the lines were just so long, and then we just got that. Like, this is not worth it.
A social media boy was saying that the stickers are crooked. Yeah.
I mean, it has bumps in it. It's a...
Look. You buy...
And why does it have a gazebo on it?
Yeah, it's fancy.
So because it has a...
Gazebo. I would drink this in a gazebo. No. I would drink this at a college party. I would drink this at a game night. I would drink this anywhere.
I would drink this in a dimmed room.
I would drink this anywhere. I don't really give a shit. I just want to get drunk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drunk fast.
Yeah.
And quick.
I want to be thrown up in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Feeling real bad the next day.
I want to be like... Remember the night I spent the night? There's several nights that I've spent
several times? Yeah. Yeah. Which one? The one time you pulled over while you're driving home to throw up in a grocery bag?
I forgot about that. We can keep that. I didn't even pull over. I was just at a light.
I didn't know that. I assumed you pulled over. Oh,
I
man.
I was driving home. I was like, I gotta get home. But I was...
No, she stayed the night at our place after drinking, and the next morning we were trying to get her to come. You didn't have breakfast with us, did you? No, you did.
I couldn't eat. We ordered food, and I couldn't eat it.
Yeah, you didn't finish
later
it
that day.
And you left around like 10 or 11. Mm-hmm. Drove back to Claremont.
Yeah.
And then we get a text saying I threw up on the way back.
Yeah, that was really bad.
At a stoplight.
Yeah.
Anyways, now that we know exactly where we can see this bottle.
Yeah, this is the exact situation.
Tell me about this grape. Oh, what does it say? White Zinfandel?
Well, I'm going to start telling you about Charles Shaw because this is pretty fun.
Yeah?
It's fun. I mean, for people who want to drink wine and can't, like, this is a great way to be able to do it. You know? Like, we can make fun of it all day, but I mean, like, I'm glad
it's easy access.
Yeah, I'm glad that there is this available on the market. So it's an American brand of bargain-priced wine, introduced to Trader Joe's grocery stores only in California in 2002 at a price of $1.99 per bottle, hence the name $2 Chuck. Eventually sold 800 million bottles between 2002 and 2013. So people love it. Maybe not the white Zinfandel. I wonder which of the different varietals is like their most popular. It's again only available in California, largely made from California grapes. The cost of shipping $2 Chuck anywhere outside of California becomes too high to justify the $1.99 price. It's produced at their Ceres, Escalon, and Napa California wineries. So this is not just a strawberry. I don't know what's happening here to make it so crazy. It's probably just like they're
probably not
the processing.
Aging it that long, because the thing that gets it the good the grape balance is, I mean, there's so many things, but like a big one, especially in the alcohol, is the yeast. So if they didn't let the yeast actually like ferment and eat all those sugars up, they could have also added things in to make it sweeter because they are trying to save money. I mean, people do that all the time. They add stuff. It's not just the grapes and yeast, you know. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, if you took the Brix rating on this, it's probably very high.
What is the Brix rating?
We've talked about it before, Nina.
Well, I'm going to ask again for new listeners. Not because I don't remember.
So a Brix rating is how you basically calculate the sugar content in something. You can see how sweet something is. So you do it with, I did it in culinary school for when we made sorbets, because you can't have a sorbet too sweet. Otherwise it won't crystallize and it'll be too soft. If you don't have enough sugar in it, it'll be too icy. So you have to hit a middle ground. They do that all the time for wines because they don't want too sweet of a wine, because if it's too sweet, then the yeast can't convert all those sugars into good alcohol and they'll die. So it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to have a little Brix reader because it's like a little telescope thing and you look up at the light.
Oh, and you can have one of these at home.
Oh, totally.
Oh.
It's just a little handheld device.
Have one here.
Budget, I guess.
We need more listeners so we can get sponsored. Tell your friends.
Share.
Like, subscribe, sure. White Zinfandel, or as I've been calling it for the last couple of days, White ZINNY. It's an off-dry to sweet red rosé wine, which was invented by Sutter Home Family Vineyards.
Sutter Home?
Yeah, this is like very interesting.
That's also bargain wine.
That's crazy. I thought that was really interesting. That just like this, bargain wine company like is out here making new wines.
Is there something special about the grape? Like Charles Shaw is in Northern California primarily, right?
Well, hold on. They're quite vigorous, grow best in climates that are warm but not too hot because grapes may shrivel in hot weather.
Okay, so they're versatile in the sense they can be grown in multiple climate regions.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be specifically what Napa has, because Napa has a very distinct climate. But it could probably be grown further south, and it probably is.
Probably, yeah. I think, Zinfandel, so Zinfandel is the grape, like the varietal, and then white Zinfandel is basically, so Zinfandel itself will produce like a red wine. Yeah. But then they get rid of the skin and make white Zinfandel.
Yeah, which is how you get a rosé, because it's the minimal skin contact. So why did they say white Zinfandel on this if it's actually just a Zinfandel?
I was curious about that too when I looked at it in the grocery store.
Interesting. Yeah. Maybe they're so when Sutter Home made a white Zinfandel, they didn't actually make a white Zinfandel. They just had a Zinfandel and took off the skin.
They made a pink Zinfandel.
But was it actually pink?
I mean, it's pink right here.
No. The pink is what you leave the skin. It's called skin contact for X amount of days. People do like a week, under a week. This was probably a little bit more because it's pretty red. So this was a regular Zinfandel. They left the skin on, and then they took the skin away, and then they pressed it and everything. So it's just a Zinfandel.
I don't know. I don't know. I want to have a Zinfandel on the show now because I want to see how the flavor compares to like a white Zinfandel.
Okay.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know? Can you say?
I've had very few. From what I can remember, they're pretty sweet because I think they're typically used for sweeter wines, which makes sense because this is pretty sweet.
And I can tell you that fits.
Oh, thank you.
The fruit ripened fairly early and produced juice with high sugar content.
Yeah.
If weather conditions permit, the grapes may be late harvested to make dessert wine, even.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
That's what I talked about that on a couple episodes back. Was the ice wine? Is what they call them. So they leave the grapes on past harvest, and so they get really sweet. Oh. And then they make the dessert wines. Yeah. And it's usually a Zinfandel.
Oh, cool.
I think it's that's often in I want to say Portugal, but I could be wrong.
Like
where that dessert wine.
Oh, is grown.
Oh no, that's ports. I don't know. I can't remember.
I had
Germany,
a friend
maybe.
tell me the other day we should have more ports on the show.
Yeah.
Also more fruit wines.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. That's what I told him too. I was like, I don't know if Gabby's going to be thrilled about that.
I'm fine with trying more ports. I've not tried that many ports, but they are so sweet. So, like, we couldn't do cheese. It has to be desserts. And again, I'd say that's probably the same thing with, like, flavored wines. They add in sugar.
Okay.
So they're going to be very sweet because it's for people that don't particularly like the taste of wine, but want to drink wine, maybe. Or making, like, sangrias.
Right.
Which could also be fun.
Yeah.
I love sangria.
We could do a sangria for, like, some sort of holiday or something. Maybe. Yeah.
Anyways,
something to
we've
think about.
sidetracked quite a bit.
Anyway, yeah, I know.
Tell me more about Zinfandel.
So originally, white Zinfandel was like, yeah, this fortuitous accident. And it's like as a result of like a stuck fermentation.
What does that mean? Stuck?
So a stuck fermentation is a fermentation that has stopped before all the available sugar in the beer has been converted to alcohol and CO2. If the bubbles in your airlock slow down before your beer has reached its final gravity, you may have a stuck fermentation.
Oh, so this is what I was saying before. Is that like those legs? So like they put yeast in, but the yeast died before they was able to consume all the available sugar. So instead of having like a really nice, well-balanced wine that has all the alcohol fermented and the yeast creating the alcohol by eating the sugar, it gets stuck because everything's dead in there. It was too much sugar, and then there was too much alcohol. Anyways,
so in the United States, white Zinfandel has 6 times the sales of the red wine. So people like white Zinfandel more than regular ZINNY.
even though they're actually the same.
They're not exactly the same.
It's the same grape.
Yeah, the same
just
grape.
one with less skin contact.
Yeah, less skin contact, which
So
makes
it's
it a
the
different
same
wine.
Grape.
Same grape. Anyway, the grape's high sugar content can be fermented into levels of alcohol exceeding 15%. That's pretty high. What's the highest you've ever heard of for a wine?
Well, I mean, ports, they add alcohol to it, so those are exceptionally high.
This is a
Dessert wines are very high as well because they're sweet. So the sweeter the wine is the higher the alcohol. I mean, I've seen like 17.
Oh, wow.
What was that at?
This is a 10.5.
Oh, wow. It's pretty low.
It's like grown all over California, basically. And each area has like a different flavor. So like in the Santa Clara Valley, it's known for like its complexity and depth versus like in Sonoma.
Yeah.
In Sonoma County. It's known to be like more juicier with like bright fruit, balanced acidity, and notes of blackberry, anise, and pepper. In San Luis Obispo, it's known to be like more soft and rounded. So it's cool that it's so versatile depending on like where it grows. And then this is a 2019. So
Pretty young.
But 2019 was a great rainfall year. Above average, 128% of the normal rainfall, mild spring after a cold winter season. Basically, it made for really happy grapes and good wines all around. And I think this one is fantastic. So
Fantastic. Wow. Okay.
Okay. Do you want to know anything more about this?
I think we've covered it.
We've covered it.
What did you bring to pair with this?
Again, I wanted this to be a very Trader Joe's themed episode. So I got all of my cheeses and the wine from Trader Joe's.
Not sponsored by Trader Joe's.
It's not sponsored, unfortunately. I tried.
You did try?
No.
You reached out?
No, I didn't.
You reached out to Joe?
To Joe himself. I brought a Manchego. I bought a New Zealand sharp cheddar cheese, and I brought Dutch spicy. How do you think this is pronounced? Case?
Cuss.
I
don't know.
All right. What do you think of this one? What does it look like to you?
It looks like it should be a Christmas decoration.
It's like orange and green and white, speckled. It's
Yeah.
very interesting. It smells kind of funky.
I can smell it from here. It's got a little...
Give it a closer sniff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it smells like pimento cheese.
That sounds pretty crazy. Which one do you want to try first? You know that one's going to be horrible with the wine.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I don't know if we should start with that first or last.
Probably. Well, do you want to leave that taste in your mouth?
Let's do it last.
All right.
Let's do it last.
Let's do the New Zealand sharp cheddar cheese first.
Okay. This is a huge chunk, Nina.
Oh. That was pretty big.
That was really bad.
It was bad. It wasn't good.
It was like you ate cheese with, like, I don't know, candy and a lollipop.
Yeah, it's not very good. Woof.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that one bit.
Yeah. Well, got 2 more.
I don't like how this is starting.
I do think I have a headache developing. So I haven't even had a full glass.
I mean, if you notice, neither of us took another sip after tasting it.
which is funny because, like, yeah.
On previous ones, we are pouring new glasses.
Oh, well.
Okay. Manchego.
Manchego.
That one wasn't as bad.
No, it's hard to ruin Manchego. It's so good.
Well, it's almost like the Manchego's tartness helps with the sweetness, but they didn't really go that well together.
No.
They just kind of like, were like, okay, I guess we'll coexist.
It's like a cat and a dog. Okay, you ready?
I guess. Ah.
Wasn't the worst experience I've ever had.
The sweetness almost made the cheese spicier.
No, it was pretty spicy.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
The cheddar was pretty bad, but I think this was definitely worse because it's almost like a very...
It's like sweet and spicy. Like, I've never...
I mean, I've had that on some candies, but like it goes well... It goes better together on that than it did with this because it's probably the cheese part that made it go bad with the wine. I give hiccups. We're like, we can't breathe properly right now. Oh my god.
That was truly horrid.
I didn't like that. Oh.
Well, that's exactly what I was
feel
going for. So
why do you do this to my body, Nina?
All right. Well, this just in. We have a visitor, or not a visitor.
Special audience report question.
Special audience question. Yeah. What is the history of cheering customs?
I mean, that goes from country to country. I mean, everybody has their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I like, that I know of at least, is in Denmark. They say skål, like S-K-U-L, because when they were Vikings, they drank out of literal skulls.
Oh, whoa.
And they cheers in those.
Whoa.
And it's really cool. And they still say it now. It's really cool. And
that's fun. Yeah.
In I think it's Germany, where when you salute. No, it's not salute. It's
zigga zagga, oi, oi, oi.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, I know that one. That's for beer, though, I think, actually.
Well, I might be mixing up a country. There's one where you have to make eye contact when you cheers. It could have been French. When you say cheers, you or salute, you have to make eye contact. If you don't look away, then it's bad luck. If you look away, it's bad luck.
Oh.
So I mean, I feel like everybody has every country has a little bit of a superstition thing to it. I think America's is probably the more boring one.
Just cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Can you talk more about like what cheering etiquette is at versus like a frat party or like like a very casual
a college
setting.
party versus something fancier?
Yeah.
It's funny. I've been to very nice dinners with people from the United States. Most people, I feel like, honestly forget to cheers. They just immediately start drinking. And then someone's like, wait, let's cheers. And then you do a really nice cheers. And sometimes there's a little bit of a speech. Depends on the event. But then when I've gone to nice restaurants with, like, international people, they want to do their tradition, which I find interesting. Like, I feel like that those things could only happen in, like, melting pot countries like that because it's a bigger deal to them than it is for us. I don't think we necessarily take cheersing as seriously or superstitiously maybe as other countries do. Like in college, you cheers because you're just like, cheers, let's get fucking drunk.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, The mentality is different. I mean, when you're doing it at a college, yeah, you're just trying to get drunk. You're just like, let's have a good time. Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like at a restaurant, the mentality is more like, we're going to enjoy this night.
Yeah.
We're going to savor it.
We're going to remember this forever versus in college. Like, let's forget this ever happened.
Yeah. Where I think in, like, other countries, it's like a victory. That's kind of the vibe I get. Like, it's a victory. We accomplished something, so we're cheersing for it. Which we do. Like, if you go to a special dinner, you're cheersing, oh, yeah, like, you just got promoted or you got a new job, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the meaning behind it is less so in the United States than it is in other countries. Because we use it in a variety of things rather than just one specific thing, you know?
Right. Totally. Totes. Great answer to a great question.
Thank you, audience.
Gaby, why don't we cheer right now?
Oh, okay. Yeah, what are we cheersing about?
We can cheers to... I'm so sorry.
Are you chewing into the mic while talking? Do you not know how to chew with your, like, chew and then talk? No. You weren't raised to do
was,
that?
But I don't care because I have a lot to say and food's not standing in the way.
Get that on that shirt, Nina. Get that on this shirt.
Yeah, we can cheers to this being like we've done 10 episodes. We're past 10. We're doing great.
We're in the double digits. And we're gonna keep going. Mm-hmm. And get more followers.
More followers. Cheers.
You know the other thing too?
What?
I've noticed in culinary school and in like when I worked at restaurants, we did cheers for shots, right? Mm-hmm. You cheers and then you touch the table and then you take the drink. Oh. Not everybody does that. Everybody has their own cheersing system. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know why, but like that was what I was taught. And so I pay attention to what the other person does to mimic them. Because if I do something different, then like the cheers is not the same. It's not equivalent. Oh.
So it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I also, if other people start like going down, I also, but I don't think to do it because I don't understand why people do it.
I don't know. I mean, I could think maybe it's like we're cheersing as a group and we're bringing it back to ourselves and then, I don't know. I'm sure everybody has a different perspective. Anyways.
On a scale of 1 to 10, ZINNYs, whatever those are, how would you rate this wine, Gaby?
Compared to our last episode?
Don't compare it to the last episode. That's unfair. And grocery store wines.
How can you say it's unfair? They both call themselves wine.
Come on. That's so not.
Okay. As a party wine, maybe. I don't think I could drink this as that much. I mean, when we did it that one night, I had one sip and I made Bryan drink the rest.
Yeah, you couldn't do it.
It makes my stomach hurt a little bit. I really am not a fan of it. I could literally make myself not drink any more of this and I'd be totally fine about it.
I'm having a hard time swallowing it.
Yeah.
Like get it in my mouth and my mouth doesn't want to swallow.
Which makes it more the point why I'd probably do even less than 3. I'll be like semi-nice, I guess, 2.5, but I'm not my head feels weird.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, probably would have given it a pretty high rating, but, and I don't hate it. Like, I probably could, I don't know if I could drink it all night, but I could drink, like, a glass or 2. Probably a 4, but
4, wow.
I think that might be being a little bit generous. 3 or 4. For the price, it's great. Yeah.
You're getting exactly what you pay for. I mean, compared to Selena's bottle.
Our guest on the last episode, Selena.
That, I mean, like, that, you can understand why that bottle is so expensive. Because we finished that so quickly because it was great.
Yeah, so glad.
Whereas this one, it hasn't moved. I mean, obviously this isn't the right time to do it. I mean, I could probably have a couple of shots of me and then drink more of this wine, but I mean, I almost need like a lime to chase this or something because it's so sweet.
It's very sweet.
I need some acid.
I do think like Zinfandel itself is a pretty interesting varietal, and I'd like to try a ZINNY at some point because, I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for some nice Zinfandel sometime.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, folks. Hope you enjoyed this cheap Trader Joe's wine.
Trader Joe's special episode.
If you're
not sponsored by Trader Joe's.
If you're here in California, you can run on over to your local Trader Joe's and grab it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I almost grabbed their Sauvignon Blanc. I think that would have been a little easier to digest. But
it probably would have been, yeah.
But I wanted to go for like the worst thing I could pick. So here we are.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Like, subscribe,
share us to your friends, fam, anybody who wants to learn about wine.
We love you.
End on that. Period. Yeah. Don't know how to top that. So have a great weekend.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Botany Barrels on PodcastOne. Botany Barrels is produced by Petrichor, hosted by Gaby Rapp and Nina House, edited by Julia Dillard. Special thanks to Brian Liberty.